Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, Egypt has learned the whole world knowledge and science since the dawn of history and still doing the same thing. Sons of Egypt are their minaret and its pride. And now we will listen to the Egypt in perspective, one of the sons of this great nation, Nobel Laureate in Chemistry in 1999, and the Linus Chair Professor at California Institute of Technology, United States. Let me introduce to you Dr. Ahmed Zewail. Good morning.
Good morning.
Allow me.
Permit me to speak. Permit me to speak in English, but I have to say a few words in Arabic. What we have witnessed during this conference, yesterday and today, indicates enthusiasm and a new start. A new start on the part of the state, represented in the president, represented in the cabinet, led by engineer Ibrahim Mahlib. As a matter of fact, all I have seen, and I have seen the surrounding world, actually, this proves that Egypt is the mother of the world, no doubt. I want to speak to you today from another viewpoint.
I want to speak to you today about Egypt in perspective. Of course, I welcome you here to the City of Peace. We heard wonderful speeches about this land. This land is a very unique spot in the civilization. I personally was born on the banks of the Nile, very close between Rosetta and Alexandria. Alexandria and Rosetta were the centers of enlightenment for centuries, for the whole world. And so my bonding to Egypt is real, and has been real since I left in the late 60s. I never left Egypt, neither emotionally or even from the point of view of trying to help my mother country. And so what you heard so far is what will be called the hard or tangible investments. We heard fantastic things about new cities from the Minister of Housing. We heard from the Minister of Planning and Finance, Prime Minister, from the Governor of the Central Bank of Egypt, about many of what I will call the hard investment, tangible. If you do it, you can bring money right away. What I want to leave you in my speech is what will be the opposite of this, what's called intangible or soft investment. But that's what makes countries in the front, and if you don't have it, that's what makes countries in the tail. So what is the intangible investment? We all know, and I will not go too much into this, that the 21st century is indeed a knowledge-based economy. Anybody that says other than this is not living in the real world. So what's knowledge means? Based economy. That means we need innovation. Without real innovation, you cannot enter the international market. How do I get innovation? You need science and education. If you don't have a powerful science and education in a given country, you cannot be on the front. So innovation is key to have it and to sustain it. And I'll give you 3 examples of innovations that will make countries jump right away to the front. And these include South Korea and India, America, many of the countries that I know about their situation. The first one, I just want you to think that if you innovate to discover one new pill, a drug, and I know that firsthand, you can make billions and billions of dollars, reaching actually tens of billions, and in some cases I know about, it's about $40 billion. One pill. That is an innovation in what's called the structure of atoms and molecules and so on. But this innovation cannot come if you don't have the scientific base. Think also of now, every one of us have the iPhone and so on, and you have a computer. There is a huge amount of work, even in the place I work in, about creating what's called the biological computer. So I want you to think that you might take the DNA, your DNA, which has 3 billion letters, and out of this you can make a whole new thinking about what to make of computers. The last example of, for example, trying to go to outer space. The planet is crowded, and the resources are limited. Oil, gas, and many, it may be 50, 100 years. So others are searching now into other planets and comets and so on. So these are innovations, examples of innovations that completely shake up the market. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, you would never hear about the Facebook and many of the other social media inventions, which have led again into billions of dollars industry. So the backbone to all of this is science and education. I personally was educated in this country, and I received, as I say, everywhere, the best education possible in the world. And this is the education that made it possible for me to go to America and reach what I reached in that society. Now, currently, this was in the late 60s. Now, currently, we have real challenges. The Prime Minister told you, and I really have to say that this government at least tell you the problems before we didn't hear the problems. So we have challenges. We have real challenges in this country, and we don't have time to go through it. However, every country in the world have challenges. I had the honor to serve as an advisor to President Obama on science and technology with a council. And one of the key problems that we were discussing was education in America. There is a worry about education in America and how does it compete in the real world, for example, with the Chinese and the Asians in general. And in fact, we made a valuable report, I think, that was presented to the president. So in Egypt, however, there is a unique opportunity which you heard from everybody. This is the country of youth. This is the country of youth. 2/3 of the population nearly are under 30. That's incredible power. I personally witness this when I give lectures here. And I see thousands, not hundreds, thousands of people are attending the lectures to get something about what is going on in the modern world. So they are thirsty to learn and to produce. Egypt can enter the modern world, in my opinion, and I'm convinced of that. And some might say the poverty. We heard about the challenges in many of the resources. But I want to remind all of you that India, if you go to India and you go to a place called the Indian Institute of Technology, this institute is not one, it's many in the country, is not any different from other institutes in the United States or Germany or Japan or the like. However, you might go outside this institute 1 kilometer or half kilometer, you will see huge poverty in India. But India recognized that the driving force to go into the modern market is to actually have the best science and education centers of excellence. Today, India is the second country in the world in software, for example. And the example is similar but different in other structures. China, South Korea. South Korea have KAIST, which is a fantastic center of excellence, and the like. What I'm seeing new here, and I'm not from the government, so I'm saying this on my own because I want to help my country. What I'm seeing here is a change, is a real change. The administration, الإدارة, is supporting the knowledge-based society. They are trying very hard to find these centers of excellence. I know this by my direct contact with the president as a science advisor in his council and on several meetings. I know this by meeting with Engineer Ibrahim Mahlib and know the vision of the government. So you see all of these projects and the big projects. Near the end, I'm trying to tell you that we have to build a science base in Egypt while you are investing. And in fact, we did. One of the national projects for science and technology is being built now on 200 acres in October City. And the government is kind enough to call it Zewail City of Science and Technology. And in this city now, which I see the construction is coming up, and the president asked the engineering authority of the Egyptian Armed Forces to finish the project this year in the fall. We have university, we have science institutes that vary in engineering, in medical sciences, in problems that are real to Egypt. And then we have what we call the technology pyramid, which take all of these ideas and put it into product that can go out to the industrial market. So it's not a university, it's a whole integrated structure to show you the power in this country of the youth. We said we're going to have in the first year 300 students for science and technology. We received 6,000 applications, and these have scored in the Sanawiyya al-Amma, or the high school diploma. They have scored 98 or about and above. The country is full of people and young people who are ready to be in the modern era of science and technology. So both the Egyptians, in fact, we received donation from the Egyptian people, and some of them are very kind to give us major donations. And we also have donations from the Egyptian government. So this is really a national project between the people and the government. At the end, in my views, ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice. And especially I speak to those who came from abroad to see the investment atmosphere for Egypt. You have a choice. It's either you look at Egypt microscopically, meaning that you will amplify or increase the size of the image, as they say, to see problems of unemployment, bureaucracy, and security issues. You see sometimes that there is a problem with security and so on. To me, that's choice number one, which is a microscopic look at Egypt. There is the other choice, number two, which is a telescopic look at Egypt. You're looking from a distance and seeing the big picture of Egypt. If you did that, you will see many of things about the people of Egypt. The richness of history, we don't want to dwell too much on it, but it's extremely important to look to the future. The issue of the human resources that I indicated by examples. The human capital, as I said, and the fertility for investment. Egypt, with the changes of the rules now, is ready, it's fertile to invest in it. I think it is also, looking at it, it's the biggest market in the Middle East. We cannot avoid this. You heard about the strategic position of Egypt and the like, but it is the biggest market. One of the reasons that America now is changing some of the product is because China is the biggest market for them. Egypt is the biggest market in the Middle East. So, in my views, you should invest using the telescopic from a distance and looking at the future. Invest in Egypt. Invest in the future. وعايز أقول كلمة بالعربي في الختام.
In conclusion, I wish to say something in Arabic. As a matter of fact, we as Egyptians have, during the two-day conference, to pay tribute, as a matter of fact, to all those who have exerted those wonderful efforts and have honored us at the global level. Let us applaud them. May God grant us success in the service of the great Egypt. I am optimistic, and with the will of God, Egypt would be one of the foremost countries. Thank you.